Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Now that my 2 informative videos are done for the day, it's time to talk about current events in the online fitness community. So let me put on my +5 hat of weaponsmithing, work on skilling up my crafting a bit. Uh-oh, got the strap caught wrong. There we go. Got it all good now. Work on skilling up my crafting and let's talk about it. Alright guys, normally I would never, ever mention a really tiny YouTube channel by name. I don't do that. And I don't link other people's videos. But you know what? I feel like making an exception today. And I'll link it down below. I think the guy's channel is called Metrix. Pretty much an unknown. But he roasted Pocket-Liner on a level that I don't think I've ever seen a YouTuber destroyed before. And you know, the thing is, I actually agree with all of his points. And so I've got to give credit where credit is due. Alright? I don't even know if I like this guy personally. I don't know much about him. For all I know, he could be a total ass clown. I don't know. But I do know that this video was very, very well done. And it was actually impressive. It was actually impressive. So I've got to give props for it. What I also have to give props for is the guy admitting is kind of one of his counter arguments to Pocket-Liner, that his own blood work doesn't look that good, that his own gear use hasn't exactly given him the best blood work, and he knows he might be compromising his health. I gotta respect that level of honesty. I have to. Can't help but do otherwise. Now, I'm going to try to remember the key points that he made, and you guys feel free to watch his video, but I'm going to give this kind of a synopsis and my own spin on it, because some of these are points I've made in the past about Pocket-Liner, which has caused a lot of the grief between he and I, and the bit of arguments that we've had, and one reason I don't do business with him anymore. In fact, one of the reasons I finally stepped completely away from all supplements, and I refuse at this point to make any money off of supplements. I gave Mark an honest go of it and said, no, this is not going to work. I'm never doing this again. That's it. I'm done. Never again. And I've stuck to that. It's been a couple years now. But I'm going to try to remember from memory the points that he made, because I watched the video through once, and I watched it all the way through, actually. Normally you guys see me, I didn't watch the whole video. I actually watched the whole video. I can't even use that excuse this time. I did. I watched it. His key points. Number one, he jumped all over Pocket-Liner about saying, look, you know, there's no evidence that steroids can hurt you. Yeah, there actually is, especially big doses. There's no evidence that small doses hurt you. In fact, we know that TRT prolongs life. People who need TRT, who medically qualify, have less strokes and heart attacks. All right? Massive study looking at over 80,000 people determined that. Big study. We know that blood values don't particularly get bad for people on very low doses of things like testosterone. Actually, doesn't seem to be a problem. But that's not what we're talking about. We have people out there endorsing megadoses. All right, megadoses. And then we got Lobliner telling people, no, it's fine. You're not going to have too many problems. I mean, look at Arnold. Look at Franco Columbu. They're still alive. As if Franco Columbu use the kind of doses these kids are using. And I appreciate the fact that this guy said, look, I know kids using 4 grams. I know kids using 4 grams blasting it year round. And guys like Lobliner are saying, hey, no, it's fine. He's right, it's not. It's not. And it's going to kill these kids. All right? It is going to hurt them. You can't abuse heavy doses of anabolics. You can't abuse heavy doses of any substance. I don't care what it is, and expect to not shorten your lifespan. All right, you can't be done. And I mean, you need to look no further than all these deaths we've recently had. Look at all the health problems people are having. Right, Rich Piana just dropped dead. Dallas McCarver just dropped dead. Jerry Ward looks like he's about to die. He looks like the crypt keeper. Lee Priest in the hospital. These are just ones right here. YouTubers. And they think it's okay to do this. And the same thing, all the guys get hung up in this whole bodybuilding scene, and then they start mixing recreational drugs with this stuff. It kills you. That's what killed Piana. Stacking coke and OxyContin with high doses of anabolics. Dropped him like a sack of potatoes. So yeah, he's right to call Lobliner on that, and that's the other thing he went into next, endorsing an underground lab. And I called him on this because I made a lot of videos on the WFM scandal. Everyone knows I made a lot of videos. Some of those videos got hundreds of thousands of views. Oh, I covered it in detail. And that's the thing. I had the copy of Lobliner's original video endorsing it. And here's the thing. Lobliner isn't an idiot. He knew when he made his video. I don't see how he's legally doing Trenbolone, and Lobliner knows that. He knows it's illegal to use Trenbolone for humans in the United States. There is no prescription available. It's not illegal to prescribe it to human beings. And he tried to sell off this company as a legitimate prescription company. All right, he tried to sell it off as if what they were doing is legal when he knows you can't legally do what all they were doing, some of what they were doing. Then he pulls his videos, and then all this stuff came out where we had tracking slips. Remember, I released stuff with the tracking? And he said, well, no, that's all wrong. It's all wrong. You know, Spotify would have caught those zip codes. No, they don't. When you get a zip code wrong, if the rest of the address is right and one number's off, they fix it and they ship it to the right address. All these companies do it. UPS, FedEx, everybody does it all the time. And they get them to the right destinations. Common knowledge. And then people were using that as a defense. And then he later comes out and admits he did actually receive the packages. So he lied about it being a legal company. He was paid, because remember I showed you guys the receipts, the old receipts from the company. I had copies. I got hold of copies. He was paid as for the sponsorship, for the endorsement in drugs. He had drugs shipped to him. That's what they paid him in. A couple $1,000s worth too. A couple $1,000s worth of black market gear, because they had the receipts or whatever for the sales of purchase, and they marked it off as his sponsorship as what paid for it. Sent him free drugs for publicly endorsing them as a legal company, knowing they weren't fully legal and legit. He endorsed publicly an underground lab on YouTube through his official Tiger Fitness company YouTube. All right, that's Tiger Fitness's official YouTube with their official company name and links in it. So technically he involved his own company there, Tiger Fitness, in an illegal operation, and he was paid in illegal drugs. He was paid in illegal drugs for it. That he does admit, yeah, he did receive the packages, exactly, because we know you got them. We've got all the tracking numbers, we've got all the receipts, the packing slips. They're all there. He was paid in illegal drugs to endorse an underground lab publicly through YouTube. Now, how YouTube didn't give him a strike for that, I don't know. Why his company's not being investigated by the DEA for their official website being used to endorse black market products in a method to order them and being paid in illegal black market products for doing it. It's beyond me. How he didn't get in trouble, I guess the feds are just too busy dealing with other stuff. Next, he nailed him on the BCAA thing. All right, that one's close to my heart because, you know, Mark made that video and the guy linked all of it. You guys can watch his stuff. He linked Mark's stuff, saying none of that research was biased. I'm the one who brought BCAAs to the supplement world. I did it. It was me. And then tried to claim Lane's studies weren't biased. They were. Yeah, Lane sued me. That's what I was sued over, guys. The thing is, Lane just happened to do this study that turned out for his doctoral work to be BCAA related when he was close personal friends with Lobliner back then, and Lobliner was pushing BCAAs. All right? His study was used to pimp these products. His research, his doctoral work and later research that he did was used by BCAA salesmen to push these products. He had close personal friendship and ties to Civation at the time of that work. That's what you call financial bias. Doesn't mean he was paid to do it. Financial bias doesn't mean that you received a paycheck to make false research. That's not what it means. Not what it means. It means that you've got personal financial incentive because maybe a product could be promoted for you that you are either financially tied to, or your friends or family or someone are financially tied to. In other words, you have a vested interest in a potential outcome because it could turn out financially favorable for you or someone else if it came out a certain way. All right, it doesn't even mean you do it consciously. It could be subconscious. We kind of need things to go a certain way, so that's the way it goes in our data. The studies weren't replicatable. All right, they haven't been replicated. Furthermore, here's the reality of it. Mark admits he pushed BCAAs on the market. He knows all this research is biased. And at the end of the day, what did the newest meta-analysis determine this year? Branched chain amino acids are completely useless for muscle growth, they're completely useless for recovery, and they're completely useless for muscle protein synthesis. And I'm not saying when they're found in a full protein matrix, I'm saying that when they take the branched chain amino acids and put them in your mouth and you swallow just those, or with some sugar, it doesn't do this. They've even had studies to where they looked at it and transfused them in an IV into people's bloodstream for 12 hours straight. They didn't improve muscle protein synthesis at all. In other words, they don't actually work. They're completely useless as a standalone product. If they're part of a full protein, if they're part of whey protein already, yes, if it's part of a chicken breast already, because this is already all the essential amino acids together, they have an anabolic effect. When you just isolate them, they have zero, even when put in massive doses in an IV in people. They don't do anything. Mark pimped that stuff. He's responsible for it. It was a con from day one. And the meta-analysis proves it. Then the colostrum thing, because remember guys, I'm the one who popped the lid all over YouTube about BioGrow being listed by WADA as a banned substance. Now, the reason that needed to be covered is not that the IGF-1 in there could actually do anything. It's that the substance in colostrum, the IGF-1 peptides and everything in there, if they are taken, are considered to be a performance-enhancing drug. They don't work orally. They don't work orally. Everyone knows that. Again, this same guy, Muscle Metrix, said that. Everyone knows they're not orally bioavailable. That's true. They aren't. But they were selling them as if they were orally bioavailable, knowing full well that IGF-1 doesn't work orally. Mark uses the stuff. He knows. Meaning real IGF-1. Now, the reason it was put on WADA's ban list, it doesn't matter how you administer it. Any substance that is on their banned drug list, any product that contains it in significant amounts, measurable amounts, is illegal under WADA's rules. Now, the same thing, had they poured a bottle of testosterone in there, it would also be banned. Testosterone is not orally bioavailable either. It has to be injected, just like IGF-1. But if they were to put it in a protein shake, that protein shake would need to be put on the banned list. I brought that to everyone's attention. Lobliner jumped up and he was, it's just colostrum, it's just colostrum. Well, he was charging $50 a bottle for colostrum. If it's only colostrum, why is your company selling $50 bottles of colostrum when you know there's only about $1 worth of colostrum in that container? This guy nailed him on it. Nailed him on it. Because that's the reality of it. That's the truth. He was selling overpriced colostrum. You guys seen the studies on colostrum? Have you seen how much colostrum you need to actually take before there's any measurable improvement? It's a lot. I think I had calculated the dose based upon the studies we saw where we started seeing actual effects in the human body because of the low oral bioavailability of IGF-1. It was something like the amount of dose that was in there. I think I had calculated that you needed to take over $100 of BioGrow every day to get the amount of colostrum from the BioGrow product that we've seen in real colostrum studies that improve muscle protein synthesis. So you're talking about thousands of dollars a month to see a very small boost. That's how much of their product you would need to take compared to just straight colostrum in order to get the amount. I think I calculated it was over a couple $1,000s a month worth of BioGrow would have to be taken. Pretty shady stuff right there. And he marketed, even though he said, oh, it's only colostrum, it's just colostrum. But he still carried it and still sold it knowing that. And then the other last thing he nailed him on was telling people in a video that if they wanted to start a supplement company, they needed at least $500,000 in investment. Again, Mark doesn't want competition. Trying to shut down any possible competition. Hey, I'm all for less supplement companies starting myself. I think supplements are all a ripoff. I don't want to see a single supplement company start. People say, how could you say that? I thought you were pro-capitalism. I am. I believe people shouldn't spend their money on worthless products. I believe people who know that products are worthless should tell consumers, hey, don't buy these worthless products. And then we can shut down companies that sell worthless products because no one buys their worthless crap. That's how capitalism works. Capitalism is a consumer and reviewers deciding, hey, these products are garbage, we don't want to buy them, instead of government stepping in and shutting them down. See, I would be anti-capitalist if I said the government should say, this is worthless, we're just going to shut all of it down. These products don't work, we're going to put everyone in prison who's been selling them and shut their companies down. That would be government interference. Capitalism is people like me saying, hey, don't buy this crap. I'm not asking for the government to get involved. I don't think government should be involved in half the things it's involved in. I'm not anti-capitalist. But he called him on that. He's like, really? I know people who started supplement companies with $10,000 and they're making 7 figures now. That's true. I saw a guy start a supplement company years ago when I lived in College Station. Guy started a supplement company there, and it was shipping stuff right out of his living room. All right, right out of his living room. He was running a company, packaging stuff. I went by there and did chat with him one day. Because it was some guys that I had met kind of through the grapevine, because I was lifting and everything back then. And yeah, he was running a supplement company right out of his house, and I understand that went on to actually become a decent sized company. So again, lying to avoid new competition being created. You need $500,000 to start a supplement company. Most supplement companies are garbage, worthless, cheap products anyways. You just got to put a fancy label on them and market them and get them out there. All right, that's all it takes. Not that big of an investment. I'm not telling guys to go do that because I don't think it's an ethical business. But it's not that hard. You got to wonder, Mark, did you really need did you have $500,000 to get your original supplement company started? Is that how much you had? I don't know. I've not seen your numbers or books. But again, he called him on it. So, all in all, I've got to look at this and say, when I look at the way this guy roasted Pocket Liner, all I've got to say is for the people who used to play Mortal Kombat, you guys remember that? You remember Fatality? Yeah, that's pretty much what this was. It was brutal. He went in harder than I did. If you guys don't believe me, just kind of go check it out for yourself. Like I said, I'll link it down below for you guys to check it out. Alright guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.